Skywood's interview, September 11th. When you sing about substance abuse, are you telling your story, someone else's, or both at once?
I'll be telling mine, 100% mine. I never really liked the concept of artists singing other people's stories. I feel like it's kind of lame. So everything I'll be rapping about, singing about, it's all my life experiences, everything I've been through. It's real life shit.
When you're alone and the music is off, what thoughts scare you the most?
Lately it's been just the substance shit. That should be keeping me up a lot. I'll be feeling like I'm not gonna beat it, and that I'm gonna end up dying from it. And it's weird because I've been through a lot of shit in life, and I've always made it out. But when it comes to substance abuse, it's like the one thing where I really, really don't feel like I'm gonna make it out of, because I've tried everything. I've I, I've tried so much shit to get clean, and I just can't do it. The most I can make it is like a couple days, and then I fuck up, relapse hard. So at this point, it's part of me just wants to accept that I'm just gonna die like this, and the other part of me is like nah, just keep going. So yeah, that shit.
Which memory hurts so much you can't even write about it yet?
Um, this memory hurts so much I can't write about it yet. I would say really the shit I went through in 2024. Um, like a lot of the shit that happened with the schizo stuff, the psychosis. I haven't really touched on that in my music really. There's a lot of dark things that happened that year that I don't like thinking about, and it's part of the reason I be like using so much drug shit now, because I be trying to forget that. I don't want to think about it. Like when it pops in my mind, it takes me back there. It's like my body and my mind just feels like it's there again. So I'll be trying to drown that shit out as much as possible. So I don't want to make music about it, because then I got to think about it.
What was the very first thing you ever used to escape your pain? Was it music, substances, or something else entirely?
Um, when I was in my early teens, like 14, 15, and I was starting to go through shit, my OG escape was music. I found this artist called Young Pappy, R.I.P. Pappy. Um, his music just really carried me through dark shit. It motivated me to keep going through my dark shit. But once I got sent to juvie, um, all that kind of went out the window. And when I came out, I really just went into the substances. I was fucking with downers at first. That was my go-to. And then as I got older and I found uppers, it was just I went from there. So
Was there ever a moment where you thought substances gave you the best version of yourself before they started taking everything away?
when I was doing downers, no, nah, that was just like kind of numbing my shit. But when I started doing uppers at first, I felt like I was on top of the world. It was like all my anxiety, the depression, everything was just gone. I felt like you could put 3 lines in front of me and I would beat their ass. Like I felt like I was Superman. And that lasted for a little bit. And then eventually, it started falling off, and I had to start doing more and more to try to get the same feeling. When people say you be chasing the first high, but you can't ever actually catch it, it's real. Like I've never been able to catch that first one. So I just do more and more to chase it. But now it's just I feel like it's almost a dependency my body has, you know. So like now I'll take some shit and I'll be up for like an hour or two, and then I'll feel like dog shit for 8 hours unless I re-up. So at this point, it's not even enjoyable for me. It's just I feel like I have to.
Do you remember the exact night when your substance use shifted from choice to dependence?
Yeah, I'll say October 1st of last year. Kind of going back into that Uh, that shit that I don't really be talking about. Uh, that day when some shit happened, I went from using sporadically to, bro, I was going crazy amounts every single day just to keep myself from killing myself, to be honest, because that shit put me in such a dark place that every day I'd be holding my little Smith and Wesson to my head, just be like I'm out this bitch. But so I started relying on that every single day to keep me from doing that.
Did you ever hide your struggles so well that even the people closest to you had no idea? And how did that feel?
Yeah, I'll be doing that a lot. I still do that to this day, really. Um, Even when it comes to music, bro, like, I make topics about shit that I'm going through, but when people ask me, oh, like, are you good? Are you good? Or is this song, like, really true? I'll just be like, oh, nah, it's just entertainment, because I don't like nobody worrying about me. I don't want nobody stressing about me. Um, and just the way I was raised, the way I was taught by my mom and shit, you know, I kind of got this distorted sense of what a man was. You got to handle your shit by yourself. You got to, boss up, go through shit by yourself. You can't be a bitch, you can't complain. So I just always keep shit to myself until I crash and burn, to be honest.
Do you ever revisit the places tied to your darkest moments? Or do you avoid them because they still hold too much weight?
Um, when it comes to things that remind me of dark places that I've been in, I definitely avoid them as much as possible. Like, not even just places themselves, but anything that will bring me back to those days. Whether it's music, whether it's a movie, anything. Like, there's certain songs I refuse to listen to because if they come on, it's like I said, my body and my mind just teleports back to that day, and I feel like I'm there, and my body just start acting crazy. I don't like it. Um, so I really do avoid all that. I don't like going to certain places. I don't like listening to certain shit, watching certain shit. I know you're supposed to expose yourself to stuff so you can like get over it, but I ain't in that place yet.
Was there a moment in your past where you felt your innocence end? Like you couldn't go back to who you were before?
Sure, when the schizophrenia shit started creeping in, that definitely made me a completely different person. Um, like your mom be constantly telling me she don't recognize me no more. She misses her son. She misses this, and that, which that shit be hurting, but it's like, you know, life happens, shit changes. Yeah.
What's one night from your past that still haunts you? Something you've never been able to forget, no matter how much time passes.
The day the police came to my house, when they came to my crib, and I got locked up. It was at like 3 a.m. and I was sleeping in my bed, and I woke up to them in my room, all that shit, and that's probably been like, that was almost 10 years ago, and for the first couple years, man, I kid you not, I was having nightmares every single day. After I got out, I have the same dream every night that they be coming to get me again. Like I'd come home and then they come get me, and I'll wake up sweating and crying. And eventually, after time passed, it went from every day to every couple days to like every couple weeks. It's gotten a lot less now. It probably only happens like maybe once or twice a month, but that shit still fuck with me, and it's been damn near 10 years.
What was the loneliest period of your life, and how did you get through it?
Definitely the psychosis shit last year. With the schizophrenia. Uh, I was homeless for a little bit. Um, and I thought there was certain things after me. I thought there was certain entities and people coming to get me, and I ain't trust nobody. So I was just alone, homeless, paranoid as fuck. And I don't even know how I got through that, bro. I think music, to be honest. I think the drive I had to want to be great, and to want to achieve my dreams. I feel like that kept me going. If I didn't have that, I probably would have been blowing my shit out, to be honest. So,
Looking back at your past, what's the scar, emotional or physical, that tells the truest story of what you've lived through?
I got a bunch of scars on my arm right here, on my forearm, but I got it covered up with a tattoo because I don't like looking at them. But pretty much, again, it comes back to the schizophrenia thing. I thought that it sounded crazy, but I thought I had demons in my body. I thought there was demons inside me, and they was attacking me. And I thought in order to get them out, so I could be free of them, I thought I had to cut them out. So I got a razor blade and I just started cutting open my arm, trying to get as much blood out as possible, so I could get them out my body. And then my mom ended up coming home while I was doing that, and she saw me, and yeah, shit happened from there.
What's the ugliest truth about yourself that you've only admitted in silence? It's the thing you know about who you've been, what you've done, or how you felt that feels too raw, too shameful, or too dark to say out loud.
Shit, probably that I'm not as like strong mentally that people probably perceive me to be. Like I definitely put on a front that I'm good, that I'm strong, that I'm going through, like that nothing's like that I'm gonna be good, that I'm gonna make it through everything I'm going through. But like at night when I'm by myself, I be breaking down like damn near every night. So it's not like I said, because of how I was raised with my mom. I don't like showing people that weakness, so I keep it hidden. But nah, if there was cameras in my room at night, bro, you would just see me break down crying like all the time.
Did you ever use pain as fuel and secretly fear what would happen if it disappeared?
I did for a while when I was younger though. When I was when I was a kid mainly. It's crazy because that anger is what really kept me from offing myself. And I always thought that I would rather be angry than sad, because it felt better to me. But at some point, as I got older, when the schizo shit came in, and it kind of took away all my confidence, and it just hit me with like the strongest fear I've ever felt that I can't describe. And over the last couple of years dealing with that, I can't use pain as fuel as I used to be able to. I used to be able to easily just convert pain into anger so I could like motivate myself. But now it's like that fear is so strong, I really can't do that anymore.
When was the last time you felt truly unworthy of love?
Man, every day. Every day. Um, I constantly don't be feeling like I'm good enough. I feel like I got too many things I gotta work on with myself that I don't want to be putting on nobody else. And I feel like if I'm not perfect, then I shouldn't be with somebody. I'm not allowed to be loved if I'm not perfect, because I feel like I learned through therapy. I feel like I learned that through, again, how I was raised. Like with my mom, she kind of taught me that love is very conditional. Just the way she shows love, she only really be loving me if I'm doing shit that's aligned with her vision for me. As soon as I go off course doing my own thing, that love go out the window. So to me, it kind of showed me that if my own mother, the woman that gave birth to me, if she can't love me unconditionally, and she only loves me when I'm perfect in her image, then that means other people can only love me conditionally, and if I'm perfect.
Have you ever felt like you were rehearsing your own death?
Rehearsing my own death.
Like seeing yourself overdose or envisioning the ugliest things happening to you? Do you ever like witness those thoughts?
Oh yeah, all the time, especially lately with the overdosing. I be having dreams about that shit all the time. Um, and it's kind of ingrained in my brain that I feel like that's how I'm gonna end up. Like that's how my story ends. Um, I'm trying to break that. I'm trying to get back to the mentality of like, nah, you got dreams to chase, you got a future, but my inability to beat my substance issues has just kind of reinforced that that's how I'm gonna die, and there's nothing I could do about it, nothing nobody could do about it, and it's just it is what it is.
Talking about who you become, who are you most afraid of becoming in 10 years?
I'm afraid I'm not gonna be here in 10 years. To be honest, I'm afraid that I'm gonna just be another statistic, whether it's a overdose statistic or a suicide statistic. That's what I'm worried about. Um, and there was a lot of things with the schizophrenia shit too. When I was in a treatment center for the year, a lot of them would tell me that if I didn't do certain things, that A, B, and C is gonna be how I end up. And so far, they've been right, and I'm scared that that's gonna be solidified. So
Do you ever fear sobriety might strip away your art?
nah, I feel like if anything, it's hurting my art more than anything because you can't make art if you dead. And the way I'm going, I'm gonna be dead pretty soon.
What part of you do you fear no woman could ever love?
Shit, I'll say majority of me when it comes to the the schizophrenia. A lot of people got stigma about that, wrong stigma too, and I feel like most people, if you tell them you got that, they're not gonna want to fuck with you. And then on top of that, just I don't know.
If you could leave just one message carved into the world, what would it say?
I would say I got two, to be honest. One, if you still alive, it's because God still has a purpose for you. So keep going. And then two, just man, if you ever thinking about experimenting with some type of substance, even if it's just one time at a party, but you gotta understand the risks that comes with, because you might think, oh, it's a one time thing, but if you got that addictive shit in your DNA, that one time could start you like digging your own grave. So stay away from that shit. It's not worth it, man.
When people say your name years from now, what do you want it to mean?
I want it to be linked to music that help save millions of people. Help millions of people realize that they're not alone and that whatever they're going through, they can't get past it. It takes time, it takes patience, but they'll get out of it eventually. They just got to keep fighting. I want to be that light for people.
What would you tell the kid you used to be if you could look him in the eyes right now?
Damn. Um, shit, I would say I'm sorry. I would I would just say I'm sorry that I let him down, and that I haven't fulfilled the promises that that version of me made. And yeah, I would just say I'm sorry.
What's been going through your mind right now?
Um,
And honest, it could be anything from family to friends to money to the news of Twitter and X to anything that's open to you. I just want to know what's happening with you.
right now, what's been on my mind the most, I would say, um, just trying to get sober, stay sober. That occupies 95% of my day. Cause I don't like doing what I'm doing, and I'm just trying to figure out how to stay clean, especially after that last overdose, that really woke me up, made me realize I gotta lock in, cause my dreams are in my hand. So yeah.
Are you doing anything? What's the first place you go then when you start reflecting on the overdose? Do you start having to think of positive things, I'm going to assume, or things that make you get out of that space? Like, do you watch something? Do you listen to something? Do you have what's like a ritual?
So lately, what I've been doing to try to help me from relapsing, um, it's kind of toxic, low key, but I wrote down a list of all the people that have either A, doubted me, B, fucked me over, C, snaked me, and just a list of all the people I gotta prove wrong, and also a list of people that I'm trying to make proud. So when I get that urge to relapse, to fall back, I kind of just look at that over and over. I even got screenshots of certain shit people have said to me. I have a little album on my camera roll, and I go through that and I look at it over and over, cause that anger kind of fuels you. So that's what I've been doing. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, but that gives me some Mamba mentality shit, like some fucking
Yeah.
the motivation. Okay. Do you ever fear? Okay, so you're combating it and you're trying to reduce and you're trying to taper, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like by you tapering, you're actually gonna, you won't feel like who you are, like you won't feel like yourself. You won't feel like. Do you ever feel like without substances, you won't feel like yourself?
Nah, I feel like without substances, I don't even really know, to be honest. I feel like substances help me be who I used to be when I was a kid. I was really talkative and energetic, and just, I love vibing with people. And then with like when the schizophrenia shit hit, it kind of made me really isolated, reclusive. I ain't talk to nobody, really antisocial. So I feel like I kind of need this shit to be who I used to be. Without it, I don't like who I am.
What's the hardest relapse you've had to claw your way back from?
Damn. Dude, I took when I took some fake pills, I was buying some pills off this person I knew, and I found out they was laced with meth and fent, and I can't even explain the hole that put me in, and how hard it was to get off that. I was up to crazy dosages every single day. I felt like I was ODing every day, you know. Every single night it felt like I wasn't gonna wake up the next morning because of how much I was doing. And it took me a fat minute to get clean off those pills specifically. Um, but I owe a lot of that to one of my friends that really stood by me during that period. It helped me get through that, especially when I was withdrawing and all that shit. So
I want to change course of questions that I'm asking you, and I want to ask you questions regarding your music recording process. What's the weirdest place you've ever gotten song inspiration from?
the weirdest place I've gotten a song inspiration from, like in terms of the topic of the song.
Yeah, in terms of the idea, the topic, when the creative hit you.
Um, I think it was it's not a release song yet, but I would say one of these more like cinematic piano songs that we made. I really got inspired to do that watching fucking Harry Potter TikTok edits, and the music they was using. I wanted to make something like that, so we made a couple, and yeah, I love them a lot.
Who would you die to collab with?
Oh, Young Pappy, bro. If Young Pappy was still alive, but that'd be my dream come true. I would do. I owe that dude my life. That man saved me multiple times growing up. So I would, if he was still here, I would love to do a feature with him. But he's got two brothers too that make music, so I would love to do a feature with both of them also. Taysab, Budabu. Yeah.
Do you freestyle ideas or plan them out?
Nah, it's really just, like off the top. When we going through beats, I just start singing about whatever I'm feeling at that moment. I never really have a plan. It's kind of just off the top of my head what I'm feeling. Go from there.
Do you hear words in your mind? Do you hear melodies? What do you hear first?
I would say the melody. Melodies come to me first. I kind of just be like humming little melodies, and then once I get a melody I fuck with, I'll kind of put the lyrics together.
Do you have a song concept in your mind, or do words just come to you like you're channeling literally each lyric as it goes?
They'll come to me like once I get the first lyric down, it kind of just flows from there. Um, Sometimes when I'm humming a melody and just vibing with the beat, I'll get a little concept in my head in that moment, and then kind of run with that.
Which of your songs feels the most like you?
Okay, if we talking music that's currently out, I would say "Die From It" or "Haunting Me." Yeah, or even some of my low key songs like "My Life Is Over Now" or "23," shit like that. Like low key songs people don't really listen to.
Does your music feel like therapy or work?
There's times where it feels like therapy. There's because I don't really be telling people what I'm struggling with, so for me it's a way to get shit off my chest. But also sometimes it's the reverse. Sometimes I feel like it's hurting me more than it's helping, because certain times I don't really want to be talking or thinking about what I'm going through. And obviously with the music I make, I have to talk about it, which means I have to think about it. So, it's kind of 50-50. Sometimes it's therapy, sometimes it's kind of hurting me.
Regarding your future, what does making it mean to you?
It just means that everything I went through as a kid wasn't for nothing. And all those promises I made myself when I was younger, that all the pain I was facing, all the shit I was dealing with, it would pay off one day. So it would just mean that it wasn't for nothing, and that there was a purpose behind it.
How many hours a week do you spend on music?
Shit. I don't even know. Good, like, I don't know. Good amount. Good amount. Whether it's recording, making content for it, pretty big chunk.
What do you wish fans understood about your work?
About my work. Can you emphasize that real quick?
Like when you're creating your body of work that you send out to the world, they're allowed to interpret it as how they feel. What is one thing you wish they could understand about your body of work or your music or about you? When I say your work, I mean you. What's something that you wish that they understood about you that maybe you feel they don't?
Um, just that all the music is real. It's from the heart. I'm not telling nobody else's story. I'm not, just pulling shit out my ass. Every song is personal to me. It's what I'm going through, and I also just wish they would know that I'm not perfect, man. Like, I feel like there's some times where I'll get hate from fans that no longer want to be fans because I'm not responding to their comments or messages as much as I used to. And I just wish they would understand that I'm a human being that's dealing with a lot of shit. So I'm not always on top of my game. It's not that I don't care or that I don't love them. I love all my fans, all my people. It's just sometimes I be in a dark place, you know. So
How do you balance your personal life versus your studio life? I feel like that's a really good question about who you are. Like, how do you balance being the person that is when you're in the booth and you're recording versus like you just being who you are when you're not in the studio? Like, how do you balance those two? Or do you balance them?
I feel like the only difference really is that I'm a lot more vulnerable when I'm in the studio, because you know I'm making vulnerable music. Whereas when I'm outside of the studio, I'm really closed off. I keep my guard up, and I don't be telling people my business. You know what I mean? So I would say that's the only difference.
Did you ever wish someone had saved you earlier? And who should have it been?
One is myself, you know, because nobody can save you except you, for real. Um, you know, back in 2021, when I first got diagnosed with schizophrenia, I shrugged it off. The psychiatrist that diagnosed me, I thought she was bullshitting. I thought she was stupid. So I kind of just said, you know what, fuck you, and went on with my life without taking no medication or nothing. And that really bit me in the ass because over the years it got really fucking bad. And, you know, I feel like forever changed my life. And had I just listened to what she was saying, got on medication, got help, you know, maybe my life would be a lot different than it was now. But also, apart from myself, you know, I know this, again, like I said, you got to take accountability for your own decisions. And I made the decision to not listen. But I wish that one of my parents would have stepped in and got involved, because, you know, I wasn't in the right mindset. I was in psychosis at that time, so I wasn't thinking clearly. And I kind of wish one of my parents would have stepped in and, you know, just kind of taken charge. But, you know, like I said, it's my fault at the end of the day. So.
What's the darkest thought you've had that you were too afraid to say out loud?
Nah, I don't even think I could say that on camera. Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. Well, you know what? Hold on. We're gonna revisit this one. Okay, we're gonna revisit
Yeah.
this one. What's the one chapter of your life you'd erase if you could?
Man, definitely 2023 and 2024. 2024 specifically. I wish I could get rid of that because that shit really changed my life. So yeah, I'd get rid of that year.
What's a song you never want played around you again?
Do Medicine by Daughter. Medicine by Daughter. I hear that shit, it'd take me to a dark place, bro. That shit hits way too close to home. So I hate that song. Every time I hear it, bro, I get like bad vibes. It's a great song, but I can't listen to it.
Do you think creativity can be trained like a muscle or only sparked?
Creativity train like a muscle, like getting ideas and stuff.
Like you can you can become better at creativity, kind of like if you keep practicing, if you keep working at it, you can become stronger
Oh
in it.
yeah, yeah, like writing, you know, like writing lyrics especially. Like if you looked at the stuff I was writing when I was 15, it's absolutely dog shit, and I was just saying a whole bunch of random shit. You know, I think it gets better the more you do it.
Do you believe the best ideas come fast or slow?
I think it depends. You know, some of my best songs have been spur of the moment, you know, where I just start writing and recording. But also, I think sometimes your best music can come way down the line. You know, there's like for example, there's songs that in the moment I couldn't write because I just wasn't in that space to be writing about them. But then 2 years down the line, once I've been past that shit, I could write about it. So, you know, it's both.
Do you believe fans project themselves into your songs?
What you mean?
Do they ever communicate with you that they themselves go through exactly what you're going through?
Oh yeah, yeah. But that's what's beautiful about music is you can see yourself in songs. You know, um, music can be interpreted in a bunch of different ways. Like for example, I could write a song about a specific topic, home to me, dear to me, but a fan that's listening to it can interpret it in their own way, in like about their own life that correlates with their own life. So that's I think that's what's beautiful about music.
What's the most destructive thing you've done to get high or drunk?
Ooh. Oh shit. When my plug was dry, I ain't have like nothing, bro. I started googling some shit that I could do, bro. My dumbass went. I bought a pack of Benadryl. I think I popped like 25, 30 of them bitches. Mixed it with some energy drinks. Boy, I was bugging. Let me tell you, that shit fucks you up crazy, but not in a good way, bro. That shit's terrible.
Do you remember the first time you felt heavy anxiety take over your whole body?
Oh yeah, the first day that I got sent to the juvenile facility, bro, I was that whole day. It felt like a fever dream, bro. I felt like I could throw up. I just had this sick, disgusting feeling in my stomach that I couldn't shake. I don't even know how to describe it. I think that was the first time I truly felt like full on anxiety.
Do you ever just get high to feel normal?
Yeah, that's a lot of the, that's what I've been using the uppers for now. Um, I feel like the only time I feel like the old me, the me before, you know, life kicked my ass. I feel like is when I'm using shit, and I've even kind of like tested that theory low key, cause the times that I've been sober, you know, my mom and certain people be now vibing with who the real me is. They be saying they don't recognize who I am. They miss the old me. She misses her son, you know what I'm saying? But then when I be using and I'm geeked up on some upper shit, you know, all of a sudden they're happy to be around me. They're happy to see me. They're this, and that. They just don't realize that I'm geeking, you know what I mean? So that shit kind of sucks because it's like, damn, bro, I gotta be fucked up in order for my family to love me, to want to be around me. Because I guess the sober me just isn't good enough.
Have you ever carried someone else's overdose like it was your fault?
Mm, no, not my fault. Cause you know, at the end of the day, one the people I who I do know that overdose, you know, it was on their own time by themselves. You know, nothing I could have done about that. And at the same time, you know, you every time you take something, you making a decision to play with your life. It's something that everybody that does drugs knows, but sometimes that pain hurts so bad that you just do it anyway. So,
Did you ever hide your music from others because it felt too personal?
oh yeah, hell yeah. Bro, I got like all my family and my family friends blocked on every social media platform because I don't want them hearing no snippets. I don't want them seeing what I'm putting out because one time specifically in one of the songs I made called Mama You Killed Me, my mom heard that because one of her bitch ass friends sent it to her because I ain't have them blocked yet. And I tell you, my mom was on my ass for like 2 hours yelling, screaming, blah, blah, blah. So since that point, I made sure everybody blocked.
How old were you when you knew you could sing?
Dude, I just been recently getting confident with my singing in the last couple months. I was hating my voice for a long time. Even up till 2024, I was hating my voice. It wasn't until recently that I've been really confident with my singing.
What's one word you repeat in your head every day?
Um, So I got two. One's new, one's pretty old. But the old one is something my therapist, when I was in a treatment center, she wrote down on a piece of paper and gave it to me so that I wouldn't forget it. Um, it said the fear is real, but the danger is not, and it helps a lot with the paranoia, the anxiety. Um, and then actually another one that she gave me too, I think it's from a Batman movie. Uh, it says something like, it says the night is at its darkest just before dawn. You know what I mean? And that kind of helps carry me through my low moments, because it just kind of reminds me that there's greatness on the other side of all the bad shit. Just got to keep going.
What's the weirdest food combo you secretly love?
Weirdest food combo. Man, I don't got no good ones because I'm fucking allergic to everything, bro. Like, shit. I really got nothing, bro, because my diet's so limited because I can't eat nothing.
When do you feel most alive?
When I feel most alive. Honestly, when I'm on some drug shit, it's the only time that life really be feeling worth living. It's the only time I feel like life is good. Other than that, I would say when I make a banger song that I really fuck with. That's the only other time.
What's the smallest thing someone has done that has made you fall for them?
Fall for them. I wouldn't say fall for them, because they're like a best friend to me. They're like a sister to me. But I would say when I was in the treatment center again, and I was really struggling with the psychosis and the paranoia, one of the other people in the treatment center, they made me a little like bracelet out of beads that just had like some words on it to motivate me. And they gave me that, and I would wear it every day so I could keep looking at it. That really, I was grateful for that. I still have it. It just broke, so I keep it in a little baggie. But yeah.
Who has influenced you the most in your life?
Influenced me. My homie Savvy. Shout out Savvy, man. When I was first kind of going off the rails and starting to go on the wrong path, I met her, and I saw how confident she carried herself, all the great things she was doing in life, because she had her own mental struggles, her own demons she was fighting, but she ain't let that shit steer her off the right path. She really just buckled down and made the life for herself that she wanted. So for me, it was like, okay, if she could do it, like, why can't I? So I really look up to her and I'm trying to get myself to be doing the same shit that she did for herself. Shout out Savvy, man.
Do you believe everything happens for a reason, or is it random?
I think for a reason. I feel like certain things we go through in life are for a greater purpose, and you might not realize what that purpose is for years, but I think eventually you will. Like, for example, when I was growing up and, I was starting to go through a lot of shit at the time, I didn't know why it was all happening, but I trusted that God wasn't doing it for no reason. He wasn't letting it happen for no reason, that it would pay off in some way. And, now it is, because I'm able to make music about those experiences, and it's changed my life and it's changed other people's lives. So I think everything happens for a reason.
Do you think your story is just beginning or halfway told?
I would love to say that it's just beginning and that there's a lot of good things on the horizon. But realistically, being honest with myself, the way I'm going and, you know, the substances I keep abusing, I feel like my stories is coming to a close, and I'm pretty scared of what the ending looks like. And I hope it's not that, but that's just the truth.
What's one question you'd ask your future self?
Was it worth sticking it all out? You know, did all the nights of not blowing my fucking head off pay off? Or should I have just, put one in my head and just gotten it over with?
Do you think suffering is necessary for growth?
Yeah, in a way. Because I feel like suffering brings lessons, and it builds you. It builds strength. You know, sometimes you gotta go through some fucked up shit to come out the other side a better person, just because of the lessons you learned along the way.
Would you rather die suddenly or see it coming slowly?
Boy, if I'm gonna die, I want that shit to be quick as fuck. Like right now, I feel like I'm watching myself die slowly with all the drugs, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate feeling like I got this clock that's ticking down and I'm watching it, and no matter what I do, I can't make the clock stop. So I'd rather just die out of nowhere, you know?
What's the ugliest thought you've ever had about yourself?
Shit, that I'd be that I think the people around me, my friends, my family, my parents, siblings, that they'd be better off if I was dead, you know? They'd have less burdens to deal with. And sometimes I just feel like if I knocked myself off, their life would be better.
Which app do you waste the most time on?
Probably Spotify and YouTube, because I'm always listening to music. And then YouTube, I need background noise. So
If life is a movie, what's your genre?
thriller, drama, thriller, mix of both.
Which feeling do you chase the most?
Just I say peace, 100% peace. That's why I be doing a lot of the drugs that I be doing, cause when they kick in, it's kind of the only time that I get a little bit of peace and quiet in my head. So I'm constantly chasing that. That's why it's really hard for me to get off the shit that I'm on.
What's the first word people would use to describe you?
Probably probably quiet. Probably pretty quiet. Yeah, that's what a lot of people tell me.
Do you believe you're lucky?
Yeah, I mean, like, despite all the bullshit I'm facing, I'm lucky. I know God's looking out for me, because there's multiple times I should not be alive right now, where I've like barely scraped by. So definitely lucky. You know, even with that last overdose, I shouldn't be alive right now. You know, if I hadn't got hit with Narcan in time, I wouldn't be here talking. So, you know, definitely lucky. Definitely lucky.
What's the best compliment you've ever gotten?
It's not it's kind of a weird one. I've only ever gotten it one time. Um, but I got like these lines under my eyes. I don't know if you could see them in this lighting. It's like it's under my eyes like lines. And I used to be super self-conscious about them a couple years ago, and I was dating this chick at the time, and she ain't know that I was self-conscious about that shit, but she just randomly said, like, she's like, you know that little line under your eye? She's like, I love it, like, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, her saying that just kind of made me feel less, like, self-conscious about it, so.
Who was your childhood hero?
Young Pappy. Young Pappy, 1,000%. Owe that man my life. Saved me a ton. And, yeah.
What usually triggers your anxiety?
Man, really, a lot of it is again, it comes back to the schizophrenia stuff. Just certain things that come with that. You know, it can send me into fight or flight in a second. So yeah, just stuff with that.
What's one thing that always lifts your mood?
Young Pappy's music. I'll play his hard shit like Killer, Homicide, all his hype music. That shit boosts me. But also just when I'm talking to a certain individual, that kind of makes me feel safe when I'm talking to them, you know, just with their presence, whenever I get the chance to speak to them.
Do you think you sabotage your own happiness?
Nah, I really don't think so. I think everything that I do is to try to get me to that happy point. Maybe some of the ways I go about it aren't the best, but, you know, I'm trying to get to that happy place.
Do you think you're tougher than you look?
Um, no, I think it's at this current point in my life, I would say it's the opposite. I would say I'm probably the weakest I've ever been mentally. Um, you know, it's people see me all the time and they always tell me like that just based on how I look, I look like I'm a dickhead, whatever. But you know, behind the scenes, this mental shit got me fucked up. So I'll say probably the weakest.
Do you overthink more at night or in the morning?
At night because that's when I'm coming down off all the drugs that I took in the morning. So for a fact, nighttime.
What's your most common what if thought?
Um, what if I had listened to my psychiatrist, like I was talking about earlier, the one back in 2021 that originally diagnosed me? What if I had just taken the medicine that she was giving me? Maybe schizophrenia wouldn't have gotten so bad, and maybe my life would be a lot easier and better now, and I could have avoided years of pain and shit.
Do you ever spiral over tiny mistakes?
All the time, but it mainly comes down to like paranoia and delusions and shit. Like for example, when I thought the FBI was after me and I thought everybody was after me and I was on the run, any tiny little mistake that I would make where I assumed that now the FBI and all these people had my location and they were coming for me, that shit would spiral me like fast. So it's stuff like that.
This is a two-part question. What wound do you keep reopening? And then, do you believe time heals everything?
I keep reopening. I don't really feel like I intentionally reopen anything. You know, sometimes certain shit will get reopened because I'll have a nightmare about it or I'll see or hear something that reminds me of that. But in general, you know, I'm really just I be trying to forget all my wounds. That's why I be doing the drugs that I do, because I don't want to think about them and I want to forget them.
What's your happy habit?
I like to go for walks a lot. I like to just put music in and just go for a walk around.
Do you enjoy your own company?
Um, Most of the time, yeah. Um, I don't mind being like vibing by myself, but when I'm like kind of in fear mode or paranoia mode, I would really prefer to have one of my safe people around me, because then, their company makes me feel a lot better.
Do you believe your fears keep you humble?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, bro. Like, that shit has humbled me too much to a point where it like it's detrimental to me, because shit, bro, when you realize that life can beat the shit out you at any moment, you can be on top of the world and all of a sudden you blink and you at the bottom and it's dark as fuck. That shit'll humble you, bro, especially when it happens multiple times.
What is the most important lesson your family taught you?
Don't let nobody bitch you. Don't let nobody punk you. My mom always taught me, if somebody swings at you, you better swing back. Like, don't be nobody's bitch. So, don't take shit from anybody.
Are you good at keeping secrets?
Oh, hell yeah. I take everything to the grave. I don't care if we ever fall out. I don't care if you do me dirty as fuck. Um, Whatever you tell me is secret, I'm taking that with me to the graveyard. So,
Was there a moment when depression became more than just sadness for you?
I don't feel like, I don't really feel like I'd be depressed, to be honest. I feel the times that I've wanted to kill myself is strictly from how scared I am of certain shit, like how paranoid I am. Like when I thought the FBI was after me, um, that was really the only time where I felt sad. It was because I was so scared, and I wanted to just like off myself to get it over with. Yo,
Do you know how to swim?
yeah, but I promise you, you will never see me in no type of water unless it's a shower or maybe like a jacuzzi or a pool. I ain't stepping in no ocean, no lake. If I can't see what's under me, you got me fucked up.
Did you grow up around addiction before it touched you personally?
Nah, my uncle, he struggled with substances, and my grandpa did too, but I wasn't around them when they was doing that. I didn't even know about it till I was older. So, no.
What's the substance you trusted most and why?
Um, Definitely the Addies. Um, just cause they made me feel the best. They made me feel, well, they used to. They made me feel like I was on top of the world. Um, they helped me not be just so anxious and scared all the time. Now it's a different story, but it was for a while.
When did you when did casual use turn into dependence?
Last year, October, when some shit happened, I uh I just went from using occasionally to, you know, damn near feeling like I'm overdosing every single fucking night just because of how much I was relying on it. Because, I mean, that was the only thing keeping me from putting a bullet through my head just because of how scared I was.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Emma Watson, no hesitation. Um, Emma, if you ever see this, I'm single, I'm available. Hit me up.
Do you ever feel like substances were your only friend?
Yeah, especially last year when I was homeless and I was by myself. It was just me and my drugs versus the world, to be honest. That's the only shit that got me through it.
Was there a time when you couldn't even imagine a future?
Yeah, definitely last year again. Like I said, I thought I was being attacked by all types of people and things, and I really thought I was gonna die that year. Like it was embedded in my mind that I was not gonna make it into 2025, and nobody could convince me otherwise.
What does your anxiety look like when it completely takes over?
Um, I get a little bit twitchy. I get a little bit I get a little bit spazzy. I get really shaky. I'll start sweating. Um, I gotta like move around. I'll start pacing back and forth, just kind of like pulling at my hair a little bit. Yeah, it's not a good sight.
Do you ever feel like depression stole years of your life?
Not depression, but uh the paranoia, or the anxiety, that fear, for sure. That definitely has stolen at least the last 5 years of my life.
What's the loneliest night of your life?
All the nights that I was homeless, those nights homeless, super fucking terrified that again, because I was in psychosis, thinking that demons and the police were after me, and hiding away from everybody. Um, and then when I started relying on drugs to get me through those nights, you know, like I said, there'd be a lot of nights where I felt like I was overdosing or I was gonna die, and I would just be laying on the floor, curled up in a ball, like trying to breathe, trying to stop shaking, stop sweating, and just thinking to myself, I'm gonna die alone in this hidden place.
When you're going through your music and you're seeing people's comments, do you ignore the comments? Do you not read the comments? Do you read the comments? Do you engage? What do you do with the response you get on your music?
I usually reply. I usually, like, when I post a song on YouTube, I'll usually reply to the comments after like a week or two. But lately I haven't been, just cause my mind's been really fucked up and I just been in my own world. But once I get back into like a better headspace, I'll go back and I'll reply to everybody.
When you get high, how long does the first high last of the day?
Shit, bro, it used to last like forever. Now it's, depending on what upper I'm taking, it'll only last like an hour, 2 hours, and then I gotta re up. Um, yeah.
Do you ever not re up?
When I feel like my body is one pill away from dying, I'll stop. When I genuinely feel like shit, I should probably call an ambulance, then I'll be like, let me just relax. And then once I make it through the night, restart the process.
What feeling have you experienced or moment in your life that was better than just a normal high day?
When I'm hanging around somebody I feel safe around, like, because I'm so in fear mode all the time, being around somebody that feels safe to me is better than any high I could ever have. But it's so rare because I don't have a lot of people in my life that give me that feeling. And the ones that do, they're not really near me. But those moments, I cherish them because it just makes it feel like, okay, you safe. Nothing's gonna happen while this person's here. So I'm grateful for those moments.
With schizophrenia, do the voices in your head ever manifest into people you see in real life?
Manifesting the people I see in real life. What you mean?
Like if you hear a voice in your head telling you something or something in your head, do you ever see a person and then they say something similar? Can you ever connect the voices in your head to people in the real world? Like, do the voices ever transfer over into like a real human interaction, or do the voices just stay as the voices? Like, it's separate. It doesn't merge into your life.
I don't ever like, I never hear a voice and then it's like coming from someone
No, in real life.
yeah, like, I don't know if I'm understanding the question right, but like when I hear voices, it's in my head. I'm not like seeing somebody. I could be alone in my room, and it sounds like somebody's talking inside the wall, or it could sound like somebody's talking right into my ear. You know what I mean? And there's nobody there.
But these aren't people or voices you know. Like, it's not your mom, or it's not your brother, or it's not your grandpa. Are these voices ever people you know in real life, or are they all new people, new characters?
Um, it's voices I don't recognize. Like for example, when I first started hearing shit back in the early stages, I thought it was God talking to me. Um, so I didn't recognize the voice, so I just assumed, oh, it's God. It's God talking to me.
The day after finding out that you're diagnosed with schizophrenia, can you describe that day to me?
Um, I can't even really. Well, the OG diagnosis, in 2021, the one that I ignored, you know, like I said, I just walked out and I thought my psychiatrist was stupid and didn't know what she was talking about, and I never went back. But when it got worse and I ended up in the hospital, um, I don't even remember that one because they had me so doped up on antipsychotics and some like what's it called, like Ativan or some shit like that. I was like a zombie for pretty much my entire stay. So I don't really remember it that much.
Did that open up your eyes to other people suffering from that, since you weren't familiar with that world?
No, I was very much in denial the whole entire year, even when I was in the treatment center. Um, that's why I kept getting off the medication they was giving me because I didn't believe it. I thought they was bullshitting. But I've learned that that's actually pretty common with schizophrenia. A lot of people don't like believe that they have the diagnosis. They don't understand it and they don't agree.
Is there one voice that you hear more than once?
Um, I've been hearing the same ones for years. There's been some that come and go, but there's multiple that have been around for 3-4 years at this point.
Are they male, female, or something else?
Male, male.
Do they talk about you, or do they talk about each other, or both?
They talk about me. They commentate. They command. Um, yeah.
Are they quiet whispers or loud and clear?
The ones is different. Sometimes it's kind of muffled. Sometimes it's loud. It also depends. Like the ones in my head, usually pretty loud and clear. Sometimes they're muffled. The ones outside that I hear around me is also kind of a mix. Sometimes it kind of sounds like some. If you ever seen the Charlie Brown cartoon when the teacher be talking, and it's all like wah, 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 wah. It's kind of like that. Like you can hear somebody saying shit, but you can't understand it. And then sometimes it's like I've had times where it sounds like somebody screaming right in my ear, and it'll jump scare the fuck out of me. And then I've had times where it's like somebody's whispering in my ear, so it's kind of different.
Do they ever use words that don't make sense to you?
Like made up words.
Yes, gibberish or.
When I can't understand what they're saying, yeah, but yeah, I guess.
How do you feel about the voices? Scared, annoyed, comforted, neutral?
Never comforted. It always puts me in fear mode. Um, nah, I hate it. I would do anything to make them go away. I don't like it. It's not comforting.
Do the voices ever feel helpful or protective?
At first, I thought they was protecting me, like the one I thought was God. You know, the things that he was telling me to do. I thought he was telling me to do these things to protect me. But over time, they became more and more scary. And I just felt like I had to do it because, you know, God was commanding me to.
Do you feel like you can refuse what the voices ask?
Nowadays, since I've been on medication, yeah, a bit. Sometimes it still is overwhelming, but compared to when I was off medication, fuck no. I did whatever they told me to do, and it got pretty dangerous at points. Not to anybody else, just to myself. Um, but you know, when I'm on medication, like right now, it's a lot easier to kind of just shrug it off a little bit.
Do you think the voices come from memories, feelings, or something else?
Memories, feelings, or something else. I don't think so. I think they just, you know, it's random, it's sporadic.
Do they happen more when you're tired, stressed, or alone?
No, it can happen whenever. It can be when I'm in a good mood. It can be when I'm in a group of people. It can be when I'm by myself. It just happens when it happens, and it really ain't shit I could do about it.
In those moments, what helps you feel safer when the voices are loud?
Being with a safe person, somebody that I feel like is like a protective shield, which, like I said, is very, 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 very few. Um, but if I'm around one of those people, it makes me feel like I'm safe when I'm with them, like they're a shield.
How do you want your relationship with the voices to be in the future?
I just want them gone. I don't want no relationship. I just want them gone. I don't want it. I want my head to be quiet.
What do you want people to assume about you because you hear voices?
Not about me, but with people with schizophrenia in general, that we not dangerous. You know, a lot of people have some fucked up stigma that, you know, if you have schizophrenia, you're some fucking psychotic killer. That's not true at all. You know, what they put in movies about that shit is not true. It's it's completely fucking inaccurate. Um so yeah, like we're all good people. You know, the nicest people I've met in the treatment center, you know, they had schizophrenia too. And they're some of the sweetest, kindest people you could ever meet. So, you know, any stigma you have about that, man, shove it up your ass.
How often do the voices happen now?
With the medication, it's definitely a lot less frequent. It still happens like multiple times a day, but I'll take that over 24/7, where to the point where I'm not sleeping for days because it's keeping me up.
Do you ever smell or taste things when nothing's there?
Nah, I know that's one of the uh hallucinations you can have, or whatever it's called, with schizophrenia, but I don't have that. At least not that I'm aware of. Like I could, but I don't know.
Do you ever feel like people are watching or following you?
All the fucking time, all the fucking time. It's it's the most obnoxious, horrible feeling because it's like you annoyed as fuck, but you also scared as fuck, depending on what you think is watching you. You know, like I said, I constantly thought the FBI was watching me. I thought demons were watching me. Um, it's yeah, all the time, man, all the time. You feel like cameras hidden in the walls. The amount of times I'd rip apart my crib trying to look for a camera, um, it's insane.
Were you ever paranoid and actually right with the paranoia? Or was it always wrong?
Off the top of my head, I've pretty much been wrong every time. Every time.
Do you believe others can read your thoughts?
Yeah, that's another problem. When I'm off the medication, I have a lot of trouble making eye contact with people because I feel like if I look into people's eyes, they can like see what I'm thinking. I feel like it's a gateway almost. Like they can read my mind, they can know everything about me. So I really struggle with eye contact when I'm off the meds.
When you're off the medication, do you feel like your thoughts are being controlled?
Controlled. I feel like there's people putting shit in my brain, but I don't feel like really people controlling me. But I'll feel like there's people putting shit in my head.
Do these thoughts affect your daily life?
Bro, it's absolutely destroyed my life. The amount of shit I've lost over the years because of this is I can't even explain it to you. It really fucked my life up bad.
I know you say you can't explain it, but the follow up is, how do these experiences truly make you feel from the inside? Like,
Just imagine feeling like every minute of the fucking day you're about to die, like something is coming to kill you and there's not a fucking thing you can do about it. And imagine having to live with that fear every single day, 24/7. That's how it feels.
does this affect your confidence or your self esteem?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't my confidence compared to when I was a teenager is way different. I was way more confident as a teenager than I am now. I don't even I don't like looking in the mirror anymore. I don't like ever seeing my reflection because there's been times where I'll be seeing my face like really fucked up looking and it really throws me. And in the moment I can't tell myself that it's just a hallucination. I really think my face is all fucked up no matter what somebody's telling me. So to try to avoid that, I don't ever really look in mirrors and shit. So if you ever see me like, if I ever got fucking random patches of fucking facial hair after shaving, it's because I don't even look in the mirror when I'm shaving. Like I just shave with my eyes closed, like not looking at the mirror. So I'd be missing.
Do you feel exhausted after dealing with them?
Oh hell yeah, especially because not only when it's really bad, like I said, when I'm off meds, I could go days without sleeping just because I'm that fucking scared. But even that, like on days when I do sleep, it's very low amounts of sleep and sporadic. Yeah.
Do you have a routine that keeps you grounded?
Um, I try to stay as distracted as possible. Because the less, obviously, no matter how distracted I am, I'll still hear the shit that I hear. But if I'm locked in on something, I won't pay it as much attention and then kind of, what's it called? Like, what's it called? I won't spiral with whatever they're telling me, you know? If I can lock in on something and be distracted, I can hear what they're saying and it'll just kind of in one ear out the other.